Darkness. Long years of heavy darkness. Many years ago, we were one big famous family, the tribe of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But soon afterwards, we became a nation of slaves. The Egyptian imposed horrible rules upon us, hard slavery, and worst of all, a cruel demand to throw the newborn baby boys into the Nile River. It can't get any worse than this. An old legacy is being told on our ancestors who promised us a land of our own, a land of freedom. But we don't have time to old legacies, we have to survive. We have to build what the Egyptian masters demand, and most of all, we need to find a way to hide our newborn baby boys from the Egyptians, so that they're not taken to the river. And in spite of all this darkness, we see sparks of light. Nameless people who don't agree to surrender to this evil. They ignite small matches that will eventually light a huge fire. The Torah tells us about two brave midwives who weren't ready to submit to Pharaoh's cruelty and decide to save the newborns. About a brave mother who does everything to keep her child alive. And above all, about the daughter of the king, the daughter of Pharaoh, who in act of incredible courage against all odds saves a crying baby. She takes an abandoned Hebrew boy from the Nile and raises him as her own. You'll never guess where. In Pharaoh's own palace. Pharaoh's daughter is called... One sec. That's interesting. The Bible just calls her Pharaoh's daughter. But wait, what's her actual name? The Bible usually tells us the name of its heroes. Why is her name not mentioned? So this lack of information is meant to emphasize something in the story. Because it doesn't matter what her name is. The Torah says, do you understand who we're talking about here? This is the daughter of the king himself. And that's all you need to know in order to grasp the amazing courage she needed to follow her heart. She, more than anyone else, is supposed to obey her father's orders. But she's willing to risk herself and perhaps her future in the royal palace in order to save this crying baby. And it's precisely Pharaoh's daughter, who does not have a name of her own, who's going to give the child his name. Moshe. Which means in Hebrew, the one who will lead and save. Her courage was crucial in saving and nurturing the greatest leader that ever aroused for the people of Israel, Moshe. Pharaoh's daughter returns the baby to his mother until he finishes nursing. By that time, his biological mother whispers in his ear,
"Don't forget, Moshe, don't forget who you are. You will grow up in an Egyptian palace, but always remember you belong to the Hebrew people."
Indeed, Moshe does not grow up as a slave. He's a prince in Pharaoh's palace, but a prince who never forgets who his true brothers are. Eventually, he will accept the mission of leading them out of Egypt, leaving his past as a prince of Egypt behind. And where does this courage come from? The courage to stand up for his brothers, slaves of the greatest superpower of the ancient world? Well, for that, he had a great role model, the mother who raised him as a son, Pharaoh's daughter. And Moshe is going to be the one to teach his Hebrew brothers to support their dream, to believe in freedom, to dream of the promised land. In the midst of great darkness of despair, of sadness and slavery, individuals dare to rise up against evil. They light little lights of hope, small lights of human kindness. And they're about to ignite an amazing process of redemption of an entire nation. And what does that have to do with us? Well, if not for those brave individuals, who knows? We might still be slaves in Egypt. It's that simple. We owe them our freedom.